Water security tip would be to store clean boiled water at all times and be sure that children do not waste the water.
Collect water in a container.
Installation of water tanks, safe drinking water. We should have containers, filled containers, boil water.
It is important to drink clean, safe, clean water, and for me, always to boil water and cool it and keep it in a closed, safe container. Most especially it's the drinking water. And for other things, we need to just store water as much as possible when we get it.
I always boil my water, but for emergency purposes, get some buckets, covered buckets, 2 gallon. I always collect empty bottles, 2-liter bottles. If you can, have some gallons, 4 gallons, 4-liter gallons. All those things should be prepared before time.
Since Malamala is a very drought area, it's a very dry area, for me water security tip is storage of water and collecting water for disasters that's going to come, since we've been facing drought seasons in our area, and we really need to collect more water and also to access to clean drinking water.
So my water security message is where infrastructure and development does not harm water as a fundamental human right. And saying that it doesn't harm, it also means that water must be safe for all that consume it, as is a human right.
Water tips, yes, it's very vital in our human life. And the water, we can collect as many empty bottles or plastic bottles or containers, buckets in the house, clean them up, fill them up with water and store them in a safe place.
My water security tip is that we have to get clean water filled in containers, bottles for our own reserve, and then we can have wells and boreholes so that it cannot be damaged. If tap water is not available, then we have wells and boreholes where we can get water from, and the reserve tanks should be in a place where it's secure and fastened properly.
Water security tip would be storing water also before natural disaster strikes, and storing water for persons with disability would simply mean just making use of the bottles, the empty bottles that we have at home, and filling it up with water, clean water, and storing them in safe places where we can also easily access during and after disaster.
Water security tip is always to store clean, safe drinking water at all times, especially when we are approaching our disaster times.
Water security tips is that I'll store bottles. Have to store water in clean bottles, clean containers, and water tanks.